Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Fire.
welcome all you minties. It's time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. That's right, it is our monthly budget meeting this time around for the month of December of 2023, last month of the year. So let's take a look at the collected editions coming out this month. And welcome back all you minties. It is the Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today we're going to be looking at the upcoming collected editions for the month of December. I do this every month for the last few years. Except in 2020, a couple months we didn't do them because there wasn't anything new. We didn't know what the future of collected editions or comics, we had no idea what it was going to be. And look where we are now. So we are going to be looking at 4 weeks. This is the last month of the year. And as always, if you want the written documentation, I do put that on our Patreon. And the link to our Patreon is in the description of the video, as also the link to our spread shop, where you can get stickers like this, or t-shirts, or logos, or designs, whatever you want. Check it out. It's a great way to support the channel. And thank you so much to our existing patrons. Cannot be doing this without you all. And a big thank you to Aaron Cops for helping me with the Marvel and DC collected editions. Alright, we are looking at 4 weeks. Let's go ahead and get started with the week of December 5th or 6th, but I just put the Tuesday date on there. But everybody's different, depending on where you get your books. Sometimes you get them on the 6th. But let's take a look at them. Smash that like button before we do. Smash that like button, please. That goes a long way here for the channel. And make sure you subscribed and you have rang that bell for notifications. Not sure why I'm pointing there. It should be down here. Because that lets you know when our videos are going live. And every month I also pick my top 10. This time around, with it being December, I went with top 12. So that will come out on Sunday. Alright, now let's go ahead and start with the week of December 5th. From Marvel Comics, we have Star Wars Legends Epic Collection Volume 7 of the New Republic, collecting Boba Fett bounty on Barkuda, When the Fat Lady Swings, Murder Most Foul, and Agent of Doom. Star Wars Jedi Academy Leviathan 1-4, Star Wars The Mixed Up Droid, Star Wars Union 1-4, Star Wars Chewbacca 1-4, and material from Star Wars Tales number 19. 488 pages, $44.99. We do have John Wagner and Cam Kennedy working on this particular title. The Thunderbolts Uncaged Omnibus coming out that very same week. And if you want a more in-depth overview of this book, I've already done an overview this past Monday. I try to do about a week or so before the books come out. It was suggested by you all, so I do listen to my wonderful viewers. That's why I put the dates now on here, and why I put in the description of the video the actual weeks I'm talking about. Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance is coming out that week, collecting Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Alpha, Ghost Rider 17, Wolverine 36, Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Omega. This is a crossover between both of the ongoing titles, and of course, written by Benjamin Percy, who is writing both titles right now. And Ghost Rider has been a lot of fun. Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 3. All 3 covers will be dropping this very same week. And I've done an advanced look at this one. I had the Moon Knight cover. And if you want to check out what the spines look like, we've shared that on our social media. So it's we're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And big shout out to Taylor for taking care of our social media. He's the guy that you all talk to if you ever send me messages on there. But this collects Ultimate Spider-Man 72 through 111 and the first 2 annuals. I gotta say, that those Kitty Pryde issues are just gold. This is the final volume that will be all drawn by Mark Bagley, because Stuart Eminem takes over as of issue 111. So the next omnibus will feature more Stuart Eminem. And I think still Mark Bagley does a couple of things, but it's mainly Stuart Eminem. All written by Brian Michael Bendis. Marvel Universe by Arthur Adams Omnibus is coming out. This is the other one that I share the dust jacket designs on our social media for people that wanted the direct market cover. Collecting Longshot 1 through 6, New Mutants Special Edition number 1, X-Men Annual 9 and 10, Cloak and Dagger number 9, X Factor 41 and 42, Excalibur Mojo Mayhem, Fantastic Four 347 to 349, and then material from Web of Spider-Man Annual 2, X-Men Annual 12 and 14, and Fantastic Four 358, as well as the Marvel Holiday Special number 1. The standard edition cover has that really nice surprise on the back. Instead of it being Santa Claus, it's Arthur Adams. And if you want to take a closer look at that, I've done an overview on the channel. Silk Volume 3, Nightmare Boulevard. This is Emily Kim and Ig Guara continuing these stories that feature the character of Cindy Moon, known as Silk. And I think they have enough now for a fat trade. They've done the classic stuff in fat trades, and hopefully they'll collect the modern stuff, or maybe we'll get an omnibus. Who knows? I mean, we got Miles Morales, we've got Spider-Gwen, we need some Spider-Woman love, and then we need some Silk. This collects the 2023 series 1 through 5, $15.99, 112 pages. Mighty Marvel Masterworks. This is what my kids are going to be reading next. Oh yeah, I got to release that. What was it that we reviewed? Namor, the Submariner, Mighty Marvel Masterworks. We did a family review, me and the girls. But this collects the Silver Surfer 1968 series 1 through 4, and then Fantastic Four Annual 5, as well as Not Brand Ek number 13. So it is really interesting that they're starting the Marvel Masterworks, the Mighty Marvel Masterworks, with the ongoing series of Silver Surfer, the one that was done by Stan Lee and Big John Buscema. So that's really cool. They're not starting with the Fantastic Four issues with his first appearance or the coming of Galactus. They're jumping right into the series. Pretty awesome. All right, from the world of DC Comics, we have Wonder Woman, The Golden Age, Omnibus, Volume 1. This is the new printing. And I do believe it was still Darwin Cook that did that cover. But the new printing is all William Moulton Marston. Of course, the creator of Wonder Woman and Harry G. Peter are one of the artists on here, but it collects All-Star Comics number 8, Sensation Comics 1 through 24, and Wonder Woman 1 through 7. I believe we have a Golden Age 6 that comes out in June or July of next year. I want to say it's July of 2024. Batman Eternal Omnibus also getting a new edition. So this is the new printing of the Batman Eternal Omnibus, and I'll try to do an overview of the week that this comes out. Sometimes I get a little behind on those overviews, but I will be comparing it to the original printing. And Satana and the Ripper, Volume 2. This is continuing the Webtoon series, and it is $14.99, 200 pages. Vixen NYC Volume 3. This is another one of the Webtoon series, and I heard this one was really good. But the Wayne Family series is the one that I've heard I need to check out. This is by Jasmine Walls and Manu Azumi. 200 pages, $14.99. Batman Volume 5, Fear State. James Tynion's run, now collected in trade paperback, collecting Batman 112 to 117. From the world of manga, we have Chainsaw Man Volume 13. And I have to add these in here because this is how I keep track of what to get. My kiddo is ahead of me. So she's got, she just got Volume 12. And she needs to know when the new Chainsaw Man's coming out. Lydia does. Fairy Tail Omnibus Volume 1 is coming out from Kodansha. This has been released in single tankobons. They've had a box set. Many box sets. I think there's 6 of them altogether. But now they're doing a 3-in-1 for $22.99. I think they've done away with those big, tall formats. I love those big, tall formats. But now they're sticking to the smaller scale omnibus. So they're not hardcovers. They're soft covers. And they're the size of a tankobon. H.P. Lovecraft's Shadow over Innsmouth. This is a huge release. I was a big fan of the other work that Go Tanabe did. He did another In the Mouth of Madness? No, not in the Mountain of Madness. That was also published by Dark Horse Comics. This one here is an adaptation of The Shadow over Innsmouth, and it is still done by Go Tanabe. And I can't recommend his stuff highly enough. It is creepy and definitely worth checking out. And My Dog is a Death God, Volume 1. How could you not find that title adorable? That to me sells me on whatever the heck this book is about. But this is published by Seven Seas Entertainment. And Neighborhood Story, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, published by Viz. And Ai Yazawa is the mangaka. And I want to say, and please correct me if I'm wrong, all you manga folks, almost 2 decades ago, she did a Courtney Love comic based on it was like based on Courtney Love as a character that both of them created. But anyway, I think it was her. Milk something? I could be mistaken. I am getting older, and the memory just not what it used to be. Sailor Moon Eternal, codename Sailor V, Volume 1. Now, this is the stuff that predates the ongoing Sailor Moon series. It is the story. It's pretty much the prototype of Sailor Moon, and they're releasing it. Man, I remember this was impossible to find. Like, Tokyo Pop didn't do it. Mixine didn't do it when they were coming out. They started with Sailor Moon 1, and then eventually Tokyo Pop released them. And it was a huge deal. Now Kodansha has the rights. How time just flies. From other publishers, we have Dark Horse Comics. Kane is coming out in a hardcover format. Walter Hill, Mike Benson. And this is an original, I want to say. It's an original Comixology, and now it's coming out in hardcover format. 88 pages, $19.99. The EC Archives Shock Suspense Stories Volume 3. I love this stuff. Let's just say, every time I recommend top 10, top 12, top 13, whatever it is, it's always understood, much like Berserk, that these are recommended on there. This collects the Shock and Suspense stories 13 through 88. And there's one story in here, because I have the hardcover, that's done by Frankfort. So, worth the price of admission. These are the soft covers, and they're $19.99. Same content. The Great British Bump Off. Okay. What is this? So this collects issues 1 through 4, and it's set in the world of the English competitive baking from Giant Days, John Allison, and Max Sarin. Oh, it's an Agatha Christie style murder mystery. Seems fun. Hellboy in Love, of course he is. So Mike Mignola is back with Christopher Golden. This is all drawn by Matt Smith. This collects Hellboy in Love 1 through 5. This is a hardcover, 136 pages. $14 or $24.99. And before you ask, no, it is not collected in the monster size Hellboy. This is stuff that happens and is written years later. Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures Volume 2, Phase 2. This is a paperback, 96 pages, and this collects issues 5 through 8 of the High Republic Adventures Volume 2. Now, what I will say is that Marvel is releasing the comic book the comic books. And then you have, of course, the release of the novels. And then Viz is releasing the manga of High Republic. And then the kids' adventures. Even though they're really good from what I hear. I've heard from several people that love Star Wars that these are quite excellent too. So Dark Horse is doing those. I guess it would be young adult graphic novels maybe. Or comics. Madman Library Edition Volume 5. This top 12 was difficult because I did not add it in here, and I look forward to these every month. I think we need one more to wrap up this series because this collects the rare and early work like It Girl and the Atomics, Dead Air, The Everyman, Crash Metro, and the Star Squad, and then the limited series Dark Horse Extra Madman. So, Madman. Not men, sorry. 504 pages, $99.99. These are huge, beautiful books. And I believe we need one more. The Witcher, The Lesser Evils, coming out in a hardcover format for 56 pages, $17.99. Yes, yes, yes. I need to get this one read before end of the year. Bird King, Volume 2 by Daniel Friedman and Crom. First of all, I love the artist names. This is the second installment of Bird King, and if you haven't read Bird King, it is so good. It's so fun. It's so easy to read. It's easy to get into. The art is just magical. I just really enjoyed the first volume, and I'm really looking forward to reading that one. The Matriarchs hardcover edition is coming out, 120 pages, $24.99. They look like us, they act like us, they feed on us. Of course they do. By Luann Brickhouse, Jennifer Ray, and Renee DeLiz. From the world of IDW, The Best of Godzilla Volume 1. I think this was originally supposed to come out in September, but it's been pushed back until, this date right here, December. So, knock on wood, it will come out. $29.99, 368 pages. But you have James Stocco, Bobby Curnow, Chris Mowry, and Dave Watcher, some of the creators behind this. It's got Godzilla Legends, Godzilla in Hell, Rage Across Time, Rulers of the Earth, Gangsters and Goliaths, and Cataclysm. That Godzilla in Hell and Cataclysm are pretty damn good, so yeah, that's a solid one. Star Trek Volume 2, The Red Path, part of the Star Trek New Adventures. So this is the follow-up to Godshock, and this collects issues 7 through 10, and the annual, written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. Well, I really like those dudes. Those are some great creators. From the world of Image Comics, we have the Gunslinger Spawn, trade paperback volume 3, collecting issues 13 through 18 of Gunslinger Spawn. $16.99. And Savage Dragon, Into the Hornet's Nest. Not the hardcover. This is the trade paperback of the ongoing series. So this is the latest issues of Savage Dragon collected in one trade paperback. $259 to $264. And let me tell you, I haven't kept up with Savage Dragon since like issue 25. I think it was the last one that I did get some of those trades, and some of them were out of print, but it is so different now. I have no idea who any of these characters are. Todd McFarlane is releasing the Spawn universe in a trade paperback box set for $29.99. This collects King Spawn Volume 1, Gunslinger Spawn 1, and Scorch Volume 1, as well as the Spawn Universe one-shot. And that's a 72-page one-shot. Now, this is limited to 2,500, so it is a limited edition set, in case you're wanting to pick it up. And Immortal Sergeant is coming out by Joe Kelly and Ken Nomura. These are the same folks that gave us I Killed Giants. So, you know, I would definitely be checking that out. I'd love to have Joe Kelly on the show to talk to him about that book. It looks awesome. Like, seriously. From Boom Studios, we have the release of Giant Days Library Edition Volume 5. It does say that's when it's coming out. I really don't know if... I mean, there were some delays, but hopefully it will be coming out. From Graphics, we have Animorphs Volume 4, The Message, coming out. And Dynamite is bringing out the Army of Darkness movie adaptation, which was released in the Omnibus editions, the soft covers, but this is a 30th anniversary hardcover. I don't know if it's going to be oversized or if it's going to be standard size, but it is the adaptation. Bruce Campbell, there's an interview by Bruce Campbell, and it's Kurt Busiek that is doing the interview. John Bolton is the artist, though. This is written by Sam and Ivan Raimi. So if you haven't checked it out, it is in the softcover Omnibus edition. And, oh man, it's awesome. Especially whenever you have John Bolton drawing Ash. I mean, how could you not want that? The Buzzelli Collected Edition is coming out. This is the Works, The Labyrinth, Volume 1 from Floating World Comics. Looks pretty interesting just based on the cover. It's by Guido Buzzelli and Jamie Richards. And Guido Buzzelli is the artist. So that's the first one that they're doing. Hopefully we'll see some more. And speaking of some more, the trade paperback versions of the Complete Peanuts 1987 to 1990. So the box set is coming out. And then the single standalone volume of the Complete Peanuts trade paperback 1989 to 1990 is also coming out. From Clover Press, I've been seeing a lot of hype for this book. It's Dracula of Transylvania. This is a soft cover. And their last adaptations that they did they were really solid. The build of the books are nice. This is a soft cover. It is by Ricardo Delgado. Both written, or I guess adapted by Ricardo Delgado. And drawn by him. So that looks, I really like that cover too. It looks really interesting and up my alley. Fiends of the Eastern Front Omnibus is coming out that week. And that is being published by Rebellion 2000 AD. You have Jerry Finlay Day, David Bishop, Ian Eddington, and Dave Kendall, Carlos Esquera doing that cover. And a lot of those names stick out to me because of Judge Dredd and going through those 2000 AD comics. Homicide graphic novel volume 2 is coming out that very same week. That is being published by First Second Books. And we're also getting Jade Warriors, Zeta. There is a no signed and number edition, and then there is a standard edition being released. It's just called the No Edition, or Numbered Edition, maybe? Sorry, Zeta No Edition is what it is. So, that is a beautiful cover by Mike Deodato Jr. This is by David Campiti and Michael Buckley. The one at $75 is limited to 1,000, and then 500 unsigned copies. And that one's $70, and then the other one is limited to 500 copies, and that one's $95, and it looks like it comes with a slipcase. Beautiful looking book. And that very same week, we are getting Lumine hardcover, or Lumine, and that is being published by Webtoon Unscrolled. And that is their physical, or I think that's their publishing side when it comes to physical format, because Webtoon, it's big, it's huge right now. And Mika and the Girdler is coming out in a hardcover format, and that's published by Oni Press. That looks so cute. And Milky Way is coming out in a hardcover format, and that is a book by Fantagraphics by Miguel Villa. Actually, I haven't gotten a chance to read very many Fantagraphics books this year outside of the Duck books. Nemesis, the Warlock, the definitive edition is coming out that week. It is a trade paperback. I'm going to reach out to the folks at 2000 AD and see if I could get an early copy. Well, it'll come out next week, just to check out the build of it. I'm very excited to read this stuff. Pat Mills, Kevin O'Neill, oh my gosh, absolutely. Jesus Redondo is also one of the creators behind that. And Prince Valiant is coming out with the hardcover box set 16 through 18. So 3 books in there. And that is $99.99. There's also volume 27 that is coming out as a standalone volume. Through Clouds of Smoke, Freud's Final Days is coming out in a trade paperback format. And this is the story of Sigmund Freud in the final days whenever he was suffering from lung cancer. That's being published by Humanoids. And don't forget to come back on Monday for the big Humanoid video where I'll be looking at all the books they released this year and then also doing some giveaway. And we're also getting Zagor, the Scepter of Tin Hinan, coming out that very same week. And that is one hell of a title. That's from Epicenter Comics. And American Chop Suey is coming out that very same week. And that is being released by the folks at Scout Comics. And it is in this landscape format. I love when they release books like that. I actually have a little shelf, or top shelf, dedicated to those. Arc World is coming out from Devil's Due. And that is by Josh Blaylock and Travis Himmel. And we're also getting D. Snyder. He's Not Gonna Take It. Awesome title. That is by Z2 Comics. And Doctor Who Doomsday is coming out that week from Titan Comics by Jody Hauser. Wonder which Doctor that is. And the Gorillas art book is getting a restock. So that's one that I've got kept as a... It was going to make it to my top 12. Then I realized, I only have 12. I have to move these things around. So that would have made it. But I'm a big fan of the art. But more importantly, my daughter is a huge fan of the Gorillas art book. And I'm so glad that they decided to bring it back to print. Because we were looking at it online and then the prices were just outrageous. So they are restocking it. I Am Hexed is coming out in hardcover and in trade paperback format that very same week. And that is being published by Rocket Ship Entertainment. So both versions are available that very same week. It's by Kirsten Thompson. And we're also getting Mirka Andolfo's Unsacred, Volumes 1 and 2, the collected set, coming out that very same week. So, Mirka Andolfo is a phenomenal artist. Like, I remember seeing her stuff when it was released. Image sent us an early copy of her new comic, and we're just blown away. Of course, it's very adult oriented, so I don't know if this is going to be... This is published by Ablaze Studios. I don't know if it's going to be as spicy as that book, or actually, Image released another hardcover that she did. So this is both volumes of Unsacred together, and published by Ablaze. $39.99. Really enjoy her artwork. Quarry is coming out that week from Scout Comics. And to wrap up that week from Z2 Comics is the Illenium Presents Starfall in a hardcover format. The week of December 12th from Marvel Comics, we are looking at X-Force Epic Collection Assault on Grey Malkin. Fabian Nicieza, Greg Capullo, and Joe Madureira. Oh man, this was such a great era. And I know it's weird to say that about the 90s for some people that are like, oh, I've heard the 90s were awful. There's some good in there. Even in X-Men, there was some really good stuff. X-Force 20 through 26, Annual number 2, Cable 1 through 4, Deadpool, The Circle Chase 1 through 4, and Nomad number 20. It's... Oh, man. Okay, so the Cable series, that's the ongoing series. So that happens after issue 25 of X-Force. So it's interesting that they're putting that in here. I know it's a big deal, right? Like, because Fabian's still writing it. Art Tebert was drawing it at the time, and then he had to leave because he just couldn't keep up a monthly drawing schedule. He was an inker. Deadpool, The Circle Chase, of course, that's drawn by Joe Mad, with Fabian Nicieza, Harry Candelario doing the inks on there. Oh, that was such a good book. That's almost like the last hurrah of writing Deadpool for Fabian, until he came back in Cable and Deadpool. But even crossing over into Nomad number 20, that's his ongoing. That was his other ongoing title. $44.99, 496 pages. Just look how those guns, those big staple guns of the 90s, baby. You got Berto there holding that gun. What's he gonna do? Staple your paper together? Anyway. I don't care. I still love Greg Capullo's art. Spider-Man by Chip Zdarsky, Omnibus. All 3 covers will be collected on that same day. So make sure to choose the right one. We'll be... Actually, as of this video, we had already shared the dust jacket designs on our social media. So make sure you're following us on our social media. And also, I put them on Patreon first. It's where I usually put the dust jackets, because people ask me there. Spider-Man Freshman Year is coming out by Robbie Thompson. Nick Bradshaw drawing some of that stuff. Collecting Spidey 1 through 12. So is this the series that was going to be the animated series? $34.99, 288 pages. Daredevil Epic Collection, The Last Rites is getting a new printing. And Nascenti and D.G. Chichester. Yeah, probably not even right. The cover there is by Lee Weeks. I know how to pronounce that one. $49.99, 504 pages, collecting Daredevil 283 to 300, so the last of Nascenti's run, and then annual number 7. And then bringing in D.G. Chichester as the new ongoing writer. And he's the one that wrote The Last Rites, which is considered to a lot of people Born Again 2, or the follow-up to Born Again. Fantastic Four by Dan Slott is coming out in a hardcover format. This is an oversized hardcover format, collecting issues 31 through 39, The Road Trip, and Grim Noir one-shot. $44.99, 352 pages. The Marvel Studios Moon Knight, the art of the series, is coming out. These are those landscape hardcover books, and this one is $60. Ultra 7, The Mystery of Ultra 7. I have been waiting to read this one. This is the one by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. And David Tinto is the artist on here, but the cover artist is E.J. Su. Been following his work since Transformers. Ultraman, The Mystery of Ultra 7, 1 through 5. Kyle Higgins, of course, is the gentleman that wrote Nightwing, and he wrote Power Rangers. And he's big into these kaiju stories, and I love the fact that he's big into Ultraman. I was a big fan of Ultra 7. Ultra 7 is the series that I grew up watching. And from DC Comics, Young Justice Omnibus Volume 1. I love that Volume 1. Here's hoping that we'll get the rest of the series collected in omnibus format, considering we waited a long time for that final volume of the trade paperback. 150 pages, 1,272... Wait, no, other way around. 1,272 pages, $150. Not 150 pages for $1,272. $1,000. That's ridiculous. Well, it would only be 1,272. That's only 1,000. Anyway, the hell am I saying? Yes, this will definitely be in my top 12 list. Absolute Watchmen is coming back out in print, 464 pages, $150. Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons. You know, it's really interesting to watch the Doctor Who special that came out, but the stuff that came out afterwards, the behind the scenes when they were interviewing Dave Gibbons, it's the first time I've ever seen an interview of Dave Gibbons and him not talk about Watchmen. That's just crazy. Infinite Crisis, the 2023 edition, is coming out. It is a hardcover, 264 pages. It's interesting that they're reprinting this because it's a standard size hardcover. It's not a deluxe edition. $29.99, collecting all 7 issues. And that's how it originally came out, and then it came out in trade paperback. I don't see DC doing this often. Like, anytime there's a standard size hardcover, they usually just get rid of it because there's other versions available, like an absolute version, a deluxe edition, an omnibus, a trade paperback. The standard size hardly come back to print, so this is rare for them to do that. At least from my memory. Multiversity hardly screws up the DCU by Frank Terry and Logan Farber, and this is, I believe, the Black Label. No, it's just DC. Okay, I thought it was part of their Black Label line. For some reason, I thought it was Black Label. I don't know. But it is a new one-shot. Batman Gotham After Midnight. Now, this is a deluxe edition by Steve Niles and Kelly Jones. Seeing Kelly Jones' artwork on there, I love to see the Kelly Jones Red Rain trilogy. The Vampire Batman from Elseworld trilogy in an oversized format. But this collects all 12 issues of the Gotham After Midnight series. $49.99, 368 pages. Nightwing, Volume 4. This is a standard size hardcover, $24.99, 192 pages. And this collects Nightwing 98 to 100 and the 2022 annual. So this is the appearance of the Nightmite, which I cannot wait to read. Tom Taylor's not done yet, though, because we're also getting Dark Knights of Steel Volume 2 in a hardcover format, 208 pages. And this collects issues of Dark Steel 7 through 12 and Tales from the Three Kingdoms number 1. From the world of manga, we are getting Dark Moon by Hibe, and that is being published by Ize Press. And it's all part of the Webtoon series that they're doing. And we're also getting Demon Slayer Kimetsu Academy Volume 1 coming out that very same week. So this looks like a spoof or maybe a side story of Demon Slayer. Looks cute. It's by Natsuki Hokami. And also that very same week, Glitch Volume 2 from Yen Press. Volume 1 was awesome. If you're a big fan of, even if you're not a big fan of manga, that was a great book. Definitely check it out. Do-Over Damsel Set to Conquer Emperor. Gotta love that title. That's an awesome title. Also being published by Yen Press. And that one is $13. And we're also getting God Bless the Mistaken, Volume 1, coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Yen Press. And How I Met My Soulmate, Volume 1. Lots of Volume 1s are coming out this week. That one is published by Kodansha. And we're also getting the I Married My Female Friend, Volume 1. I hope that's going well for both of them ladies. This is by Shio Usui, and it's the creator of Donuts Under a Crescent Moon. That was also published by Seven Seas. So this one's published by Seven Seas, and my buddy TikTok Tina loves that one. And Marmalade Boy Collected Edition Volume 4. Yes, that's for me. I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Marmalade Boy when I had to import bootleg video cassettes of Marmalade Boy. My Mate is a Feline Gentleman. Of course he is. my Poison Princess is still cute. These titles, oh gosh, love them. Love them. That's so awesome. And we're also getting Neji Shiki is coming out in hardcover. Now that is published by Drawn and Quarterly. This is by Yoshiharu Suge. And it is coming out in a hardcover format for $29.99. And they're very picky about what manga they bring out here From Issei Press, we're also getting the Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, Volume 1 by Sing and Song and Sleepy Sea. Alright, if that's their real name and not pen names, those names are awesome. Poetry of Ran is coming out in a tankobon, and that is being published by Titan Comics. So Titan is publishing their Titan manga line. We've done overviews on the channel of a couple of them, but I'm glad that this publisher is also dipping their toes in manga. Spring Comes Riding in a Carriage is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Vertical Comics. And I'm not sure of the dimensions of it because it looks to be like a landscape book or maybe like an album book. Not sure. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have The Many Deaths of Barnaby James. So that is coming out the week of December 12th. Neil Gibson and Brian Nathanson, Peter Kowalski. It is a paperback for 144 pages. Creepy Archives Volume 4, more of that goodness of Archie Goodwin, Johnny Craig, Reed Crandall. And this time around, I think Steve Ditko does some of the stories in here. But Frank Frazetta, baby. Frazetta art. Den Volume 2, speaking of gorgeous artwork, oh my gosh, these stories are amazing. Definitely for mature readers, way out there. I've done an overview of both of the Richard Corbin series, but this one here, Den, is being, I think it's being recolored by Jose Villarrubia, if I'm not mistaken, who's a wonderful colorist. He's the gentleman that did the Absolute Swamp Thing, the Bernie Wrightson and Len Wein story. The Complete Norse Mythology is coming out, all in a big, beautiful collection and a slipcase. Looks to be like the American Gods adaptation when that came out in a slipcase. Macbeth, A Tale of Horror by Stefano Ascari and Simone Diarmini. So this is a new Gothic adaptation of the classic Macbeth. $19.99, 112 pages. Dr. Mobius and Mr. Gurr. Okay, so it is illustrated by Jean Girard, and of course, most people know him as Mobius. So there's interviews in here, but there's also artwork. It's a paperback, and it's been a long time since we've seen Dark Horse release a Mobius book, because they had the Mobius libraries for a while. Oh, I'd love to see them go back to that. From IDW, we have My Little Pony, the 40th Anniversary Celebration, a deluxe edition. That's really interesting. It is for from My Little Pony superfans, Sam Maggs and Keisha Okafor are joining forces to craft a story about the children who brought the original My Little Ponies. Oh, okay. That's why it looks old school. Johnny Boo, book 14 is bored. It is a hardcover for $11.99 by James Kochalka. And from Image Comics, we're getting Arcade Kings. Man, I love that title. I'd like to think of myself as an Arcade King, maybe. I don't know. What kind of? I'm getting Murder Falcon and Invincible vibes from this one. This is by Dylan Burnett. He's the guy that did the Thanos by Donny Cates, I think. The Cosmic Ghost Rider. So this collects the first 5 issues of the Arcade Kings. And Rat Queens is getting an Omnibus. Looks like it's collecting, yeah, the first, not just the first 15 issues, but also the never reprinted issue number 16 and the second series. My wife is excited about that. And Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, Where the Body Was, is getting a hardcover collection. So not just Sean Phillips, but also Jacob Phillips. I think he's the one that's doing the colors, right? He's doing his dad's colors. If I'm not mistaken, please let me know in the comments down below. From Boom Studios, we're getting Jim Henson's Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, the complete collection hardcover. Collecting Age of Resistance 1 through 12, $75. And I think that one's been delayed a couple of times. Seasons Have Teeth. Dan Waters, Sebastian Cabral. David Mack is the cover artist on here. This collects the first 4 issues of Seasons Have Teeth. The Expanse, Dragon Tooth by Andy Diggle and Rubine Christian Ward, collecting the first 4 issues of Dragon Tooth is coming out. as well as Once Upon a Time at the End of the World trade paperback volume 1. This is by Jason Aaron, Nick Dragotta, Mike Del Mundo supplying the cover, but Lee Luffridge is also helping out on this particular book with Alexandre Tefenki. Sorry. This is collecting the first 5 issues of this series. I'm very excited about that one. When I saw the cover of the first issue, I was like, oh, I can't wait for the Lux edition. It's like I think way ahead of time. I shouldn't, but I do. That's just the way I've always been when new comics are solicited. Black Sands 7 Kingdoms is coming out from Black Sands Entertainment. And we're also getting The Call to Cthulhu Volume 1 coming out in a hardcover format that is being published by Titan Comics. And The Children of the Phoenix Volume 1, Eye of the Storm by Paper Cuts by Oscar Kalner and Carl Johnson. And that is coming out the week of December 13th. Oh, okay. Some of these are December 12th, some are December 13th. December 13th is my dad's birthday. Hunt, Kill, Repeat Volume 1 is coming out that week, and that is being published by Mad Cave Studios, Mark London's new book. This one has me excited because it's got that, I don't know, it's got that Top Cow vibe on that cover that's by Ryan Kincaid, by Francesco Archidiacono, and Mark Deering are the artists behind this. They're comparing it to Kill Bill meets Clash of the Titans. Okay. And I'm a big fan of Mark London's company and his work. Madagascar Volume 1, Rise of the Queen is coming out that very same week from Black Sands Entertainment. And this one is done by Jaguar Prince and tells the story of the queen that the world tried to erase. And coming out the week of December 13th. This is the Ultimate Edition. And that very same week, we're getting the Mask of the Orisha Volume 1 coming out that week, and that is being published by Black Sands Entertainment. Seems like they're publishing a lot that week. Interesting. Okay, Michael Moorcock, Library Multiverse. I remember announcing that, breaking the news. That was supposed to be out in the summer, but this is the Multiverse collecting all 6 issues, or this. I don't know if it's 12 issues or 6 issues, but it's collecting the 6 issues, hardcover for $29.99. That is being published by Titan. So there's been some delays there on that book. And I am trying to find out what's going on with Conan, because people have asked me a lot recently. Monarchs is coming out, not just Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, actually, yeah, all 4 volumes are coming out that same day. Published by Black Sands Entertainment. Yeah, it seems like they're pushing all their books that same week. Hope maybe they'll scatter them about. Rick and Morty Space Shake Saga Part 1 is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is being published by Oni Press. And we're also getting Terra Antarctica coming out that very same week. And that book right there is being published by Fair Square Comics. Walt Disney's Silly Symphony is coming out that very same week. And that is 1935 to 1939. And oh my gosh, Fantagraphics, I love those books. Love them. And we're also getting Voyage de Gourmet. And that is being published by Mad Cave as well. But it's Maverick Mad Cave. Maverick Mad Cave is their young adult line. Now, You've Been Canceled. There's another book I've been eyeing. This is by Kurt Pires and Kevin Castanero. And I just really like the premise. Okay, I know they pitch these books like this is The Running Man meets Squid Game meets the action of the raid. But it's like an event. Is what the pitch to me was. When I saw Mark and the folks at Mad Cave and New York Comic Con, the pitch was it's the world premiere entertainment event. It's a live stream event where bounty hunters that are called cancelers are going after individuals whom society has voted to cancel. And I was like, oh, that is a really interesting premise. So it is, yes, it is like Running Man and Squid Games, I guess. But I'm in for that one. That one looks awesome. And Marvel Comics Library hardcover of Spider-Man 2 is coming out that week. Now, that is not being published by Marvel Comics. That is being published by Taschen. who do these big, beautiful books. I think they just released the, what was it, the Silver Surfer one. My buddy Taylor Talks Comics did an overview of it. They're big, beautiful books. They are pricey. They're $200, but they're huge books. And we're also getting the Apocrypha, The Legend of Baby Metal, coming out in a softcover format. Code 45 is coming out, and that is that's a softcover format right there from Scout Comics, so it is a trade paperback. And Engagers is coming out, and that is being published by Heavy Metal Entertainment. And we're also getting the Eternal Warrior Classic Omnibus Volume 1 being published by Valiant Comics. And Golden Age Classics, The Spirit Softy, is coming out, and that's by PS Art Books. And Heartstopper Volume 5 is coming out, and this is a big book, big release for my co-host, the amazing Amanda. This is by Alice Oseman. I think this is a Netflix series, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I know she's excited about those books. She actually picked them all up from Alice's table when she was set up at New York Comic Con. Published by Graphics. And we're also getting the Lions Game, Volume 1, Masters of Mali, coming out that very same week, as well as the Michael Moorcock Elric Deluxe Edition, Volume 3, The White Wolf. Now, when I do my top 10 or top 12, whatever they are, still counts if I talked about a book before, and this is the one I've been talking about for a while. I cannot wait for this book. It is the big, beautiful deluxe edition. If you've not seen them, I've done overviews. If you go back to my playlist of the Titan comics, I show you the different types of books they print, and oh my gosh, that book is beautiful. Mystery, Heroine Withdrawal, also a book that was supposed to come out a couple months ago, but it looks like it's been delayed. Also published by Titan Comics. And Porn Basket Hardcovers getting a new printing, and that is published by Fantagraphics. And yes, that is the work of Johnny Ryan. You can always tell Johnny Ryan's quirky art style. Pre-Code Classics, The Hand of Fate. It's coming out in a softy format. And Quested Season 1 is coming out from Massive. Massive is the publishing company of the, like, it's owned by the same folks that did that started Whatnot. I got to meet the Massive folks at New York Comic Con. This collects the 6-issue miniseries of Quested, $19.99, and it is a trade paperback. Roach Mill is coming out in trade paperback format. That is published by Comic Mix. And Scott Pilgrim, looks like they're reprinting the color hardcovers. Volumes 4, 5, and 6 are coming out that very same week. And Treasury of British Comics Annual 2024 is coming out in a hardcover format, and that is being published by 2000 AD. And Tribute is coming out in a hardcover, and that is published by Titan Comics. And I'm curious about this one. This is by Benjamin Legrand and Jean-Marc Brochet. Before Avatar came the Tribute. Interesting. It's the next sci-fi epic from... Oh, it's the people that did Snowpiercer. Well, say no more. And Zombie Makeout Club, Volume 1, Death Wish, is coming out that week. Now, if you're interested in any of the books I've been talking about so far, and you live in Europe, check out our sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of December 19th, from Marvel Comics, we have Wonder Man, The Early Years Omnibus. Now, this is one of those omnis that collects early appearances of this character throughout very very many issues of the Avengers. So you have Avengers 9, 52, 131 and 132, 151 to 153, 157 to 160, 164 to 166, 181, 192 to 194, 197, 203, 207 to 208, 211 and 239. And then you have his appearances in Giant Size Avengers 3, Marvel Team Up 78 and 136, Marvel Premiere 55, Marvel 2 and 178, Vision and Scarlet Witch 3, Vision and Scarlet Witch number 2, which is... The third one is from the 1982 series, and then the second one's from the 1985 series, West Coast Avengers 2. West Coast Avengers, that's from the miniseries, and then the West Coast Avengers ongoing series, 1 and 2, 25. Avengers West Coast 66 and 68. Wonder Man number 1 from 1986, and then material from Avengers 201, Annual 6, Solo Avengers 13, Marvel Comics Presents 38 through 45, Avengers Spotlight 28, Marvel Superheroes number 4, Avengers West Coast 65, and Classic Avengers number 9. Woo! 1,064 pages, $125. Both covers coming out that same day. That is a lot of Wonder Man. Sigil Omnibus coming out this day, and this is the first cross-gen Omnibus. So CrossGen is a company that was acquired by Disney. This was a company that, when I was coming back into comics, was publishing work by a lot of famous writers and artists that I remember from back when I was collecting comics in the 80s and 90s. But this is all of Sigil. It collects all 42 issues, CrossGen Chronicles 4, the Saurians Unnatural Selection 1 and 2, and the material from CrossGen Chronicles number 1. 1,192 pages, $125. Barbara Kessel and Ben Lay are some of the creators in here, but also Chuck Dixon and Mark Waid, Scott Eaton, Del Eaglesham, just to name a few of the other creators. And speaking of Mark Waid, Doctor Strange by Mark Waid is coming out. Volume 1. These are those sticker trades collecting issues 1 through 11 of Doctor Strange, the 2018 series. $34.99, 264 pages. Hawkeye by Matt Fraction Omnibus is coming out. And I'm going to go ahead and say that this is not one that I'm adding to my must-buy essential reads. I know everyone else is going to tell you to get it. Everybody else. And rightfully so. It is a great title. Just never really clicked with me for some reason. And we've done old reader, new readers on it where I explain why. But it is regarded as one of the best, and I completely understand why. Collecting Hawkeye 1 through 22, Annual number 1, and Young Avengers Presents number 6. I also think like books like Vision are, I get why people consider it the best of the best at Marvel, but there are issues that I have with them, and I'll go, if you want to go back and watch that old reader, new reader, by all means, go and do it. Oh my gosh, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. But finally coming back to print for the people that missed it. The first time, 552 pages, $100. Venom, Modern Epic Collection. This is the Savage 6, collecting the Venom issues 17 through 35, 27.1, Minimum Carnage Alpha, Scarlet Spider 10 through 11, and Minimum Carnage Omega. 520 pages, $49.99. Spider-Man, Great Power, Great Mayhem. And this looks to be a kid's book, I think, is what it is. But the cover there is by Ale Garza. And we're also getting the Death of the Venomverse. Cullen Bunn, Gerardo Sandoval are some of the creators behind this. And this is collecting Death of the Venomverse 1 through 5. The Marvel Masterworks, continuing the Amazing Spider-Man. And that's the one that kicked it off, Volume 25. So we are looking at Amazing Spider-Man 263 to 270, Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 19, and Web of Spider-Man 1 and 6. And $75, 320 pages. This is the stuff that has not previously been collected in omnibus format that hopefully will link up with the Venom Omnibus, or the Spider-Man by Michelini and McFarlane Omnibus. I don't know why I keep calling it the Venom Omnibus. Well, I guess because it made its first appearance in 300. Star Wars Yoda is coming out, collecting the 10-issue Maxi series, and that is by Jody Hauser and Luke Ross. Loki the Liar, Dan Waters and Herman Peralta are the creators behind this Loki miniseries from 2023. All 4 issues are available in that trade paperback. from the world of DC Comics, Justice League Volume 2 is coming out in trade paperback format, $19.99, collecting Justice League 64 to 71. And this is the stuff by Brian Michael Bendis and Steve Pugh. Phil Hester also doing some of the artwork in there. And that's the only book we have from DC. DC and Marvel, honestly, tend to slow. Every publisher tends to slow down towards the end of the year, almost like playing catch up. From the world of manga, we are getting a Breakers box set. That's really interesting because I just remember they were doing the Omnibus edition. So this is the Breaker Omnibus box set. So it's all 5 of the Omnis collected in one box set for $90. That's pretty interesting that they're doing that. So makes me, well, I don't know if other publishers are doing that yet with their Omnis being in one slipcase. I wish they would with Cardcaptor Sakura. Looking at you, Kodansha. Breakfast with My Two-Tailed Cat, which is the way that my daughter has breakfast every day, except her cat only has one tail. That's from 7 Seas Entertainment. The Great Yokai War, Guardians, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Titan Comics. So they're putting out that particular manga that very same week. That is by Yuzuki Watanabe and Sanami Suzukui. And we're also getting the Hellsing Deluxe Edition Trade Paperback Volume 2. Now, they're not deluxe editions. It's just the mapping is the same as the big deluxe editions that came out. But this is a trade paperback. It is a tankobon, so $14.99. And also that same week, they were 11. Now, I talked about this book, oh my goodness, a few months back. I think even before I went to Japan. Japan! And I absolutely love it. And I thought it was being reprinted then. And as a matter of fact, it made it to one of my top 10. So I'm glad that it wasn't canceled. It just was resolicited. So it is coming back into print by Denpa Books, $19.95 by Moto Hagio. That's the mangaka behind that particular book. Trece box set, volumes 1 through 6, also published by Ablaze. So it looks like they're doing 2 box sets on the same day. This is another one that's $90. And one of my viewers sent me the first 2 volumes, a freaking awesome series. And Obey Me is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at 7 Seas Entertainment. The Obey Me comic is what it's called, the comic. And from the world of Dark Horse Comics, we're getting 4 Gathered on Christmas Eve. Oh yes, very excited to talk about that book. Monsterborn, this is by Steve Niles and Shannon Eric Denton. Tom Mandarek doing the artwork here. And we're also getting the All-Nighter, Volume 2. Chip Zdarsky, Jason Liu. Continuing that series, $22.99. This collects the All-Nighter. These were originally published by Comixology, 6 through 10. And Baltimore Omnibus Volume 2 coming out. These are the trade paperbacks of Baltimore collecting The Witch of Haraju, 1 through 3, The Wolf and the Apostle 1 and 2, The Cult and the Red King 1 through 5, Empty Graves 1 through 5, The Red Kingdom 1 through 5, and then the bonus short from Monstrous, or the bonus short called Monstrous. Hairball from Matt Kent. That looks like an interesting design on that book. Tyler Jenkins and Hillary Jenkins. So collecting Hairball 1 through 4 in a deluxe hardcover with a die cut. Yes, it does have a die cut with a faux cat fur. Okay, dude, that's all I need to know. The creators and that design of that book, I'm in. I don't know what it's about. Black Solstice is coming out that very same week from Dark Horse Comics by Martin Desmond Rowe and Trayvon Free with Aremo Massa as the artist. Hellboy and the BPRD 1957 is coming out in a trade paperback format, 152 pages, $19.99. Collecting the one-shots Family Ties, Forgotten Lives, and Falling Sky, Fearful Symmetry, and From Below. And then there's a short from the Happy New Year, Ava Galucci, from the Hellboy Winter Special. And from the world of IDW, John Byrne's X-Men Artist Edition is coming out. I cannot wait to talk about it. They were kind enough to send me an early copy of it, so I'll be doing an overview of it. It looks beautiful. Big fan of John Byrne and the Dark Phoenix. Yeah, X-Men. Oh my gosh. Okay, Sorry. From Image Comics, finally, Fear Agent, the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. So this is the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Editions that are coming to print, both Volume 1, and Volume 1 has 2 covers. You get to choose which cover you want. And Volume 2 is coming back to print, also with 2 covers. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a DCBS cover. Rick Remender usually does DCBS covers, so I'm not sure. And the only way to get that is through DCBS or in-stock trades. You will see this show up on my top 12. But I'll only be talking about Volume 1. But believe me, you want to get both. Spawn, the Cover Gallery hardcover Volume 2 is coming out, collecting the covers to issues 101 to 200. And we're also getting the Big Game trade paperback from Mark Miller and Pepe Larraz, teaming up, I believe, from the world of Wanted, if I'm not mistaken. The first 5 issues are collected in this trade. And also from Image Comics that very same week is Curse Words, whole damn compendium. I thought this had been released already, but please let me know if it has, or if it was delayed. I want to say it was delayed. Hey Kids Comics! And this is by Howard Chaykin. It's coming out. This collects, well, this is Volume 3, The Schlock of the New, collecting issues 1 through 6 of Hey Kids Comics. And Lifehouse is coming out in a hardcover format. And that looks to be like one of those album-size hardcover formats. From Boom Studios, we're getting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Recharge, trade paperback Volume 3. So this collects Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 107 to 110. As well as Vampire Slayer Buffy, in parentheses, Volume 4, collecting Vampire Slayer 13 through 16. And this is done by Sarah Gailey and Kath Lobo. It's an awesome name. And from other publishers, we are getting the Alley Oop Back to the $1 Million Nugget. I'd like to check one of those books out one day. Now, not in a landscape format is Alley Oop, the Complete Sunday hardcover. This is Volume 4, World War II, 1942 to 1944. That one is $75. The landscape one is $27. And Book of Shadows is coming out in hardcover format from Valiant Comics, collecting Book of Shadows 1 through 4, Cullen Bunn and Vicente Cifuentes. And I don't know if they'll reprint those. I know that they're doing new standard size hardcovers. I don't know if they'll go back and reprint any of the old books that are out of print from Valiant. Geronimo Stilton, the Reporter 3-in-1 is coming out as a Volume 3 from Paper Cuts. And we're also getting Popeye hardcover Volume 3, Sea Hag and Alice the Goon. And that is coming out from Fantagraphics. And Sparkle Dragons Volume 2, One Horn to Rule Them All, coming out that very same week from Clarion Books. A Christmas Carol is coming out in a graphic novel format, and that is being published by Cinebooks. And no matter how many versions of A Christmas Carol I see or read, still love that story. The Sumerian is getting a box set. Now this is the Ablaze's version of Conan. It's a lot more mature content. It's probably the Conan that you're familiar with. I don't know what it was. That one, I read the first volume, and yes, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but there's just something lacking there. There's just something that wasn't Roy Thomas nor Kurt Busiek or even Jim Zub's run so far, which has been stellar. There's just something missing. I don't know what it was. Maybe it gets better. I've only read the first volume. The Collected Topies coming out, Volume 10, Future Perfect. Sorry, big fan of the Hulk. And that is by Magnetic Press. The Complete Dick Tracy is coming out in hardcover format, 1935 to 1936, Volume 3. And then Volume 4, 1936 to 1937 is coming out. And Crestar, Night Stallion, Devil's Night is coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at Chaos Quill. What's really interesting about this book is I had no idea that Derek Robertson was writing this. This is by Chaos Quill Comics. And the artwork is by Ashmai Zahir Ahmad. So, I didn't know that he was writing this book. This is The Night Stallion, and this is where it all begins. So, if you're not familiar with Derek Robertson, he has drawn just every freaking character just about at Marvel and DC. Anywhere from Batman to the New Warriors. Gotta throw them in there. But probably a lot more people are familiar with him as being the co-creator of The Boys. Well, because he is the co-creator of The Boys. And rightly so. Needs to be credited for that. Dynamite Never Dies is coming out in trade paperback format. That's another book that I think was previously solicited but did not quite come out. So, who knows? Knock on wood. Maybe this time around. Elvira Meets Vincent Price. That was one that I know was solicited for October. But looks to be coming out the week of December 20th. Maybe delayed again. Knock on wood. We'll see. I forgot to remind people this time around. Yes. Sometimes books do get delayed. And smash that like button. That's not on me. I'm just the delivery. The messenger. Not the delivery. I don't even deliver you books. I'm just the messenger. Holiday Spirits is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is being published by the folks at Band of Bards. And we're also getting Jennifer Blood, Volume 2, Blood Debt. And I did not even see this one coming, but I'm so glad that it's coming. And that is Kaiju Max, Deluxe Edition Volume 3, published by Oni Press. Very excited for that book to come back. Big fan of those big monster books. And all the extra stuff he has in there. Kitsune is being published by Scout Comics by Luca Frigerio and Emmanuel Ercolani. And we're also getting Nature's Labyrinth, Volume 1, coming out that very same week. As well as the Nexus newspaper strips coming of Gormando, Deluxe Edition hardcover. Now, there's a couple of printings for this one here. There is the limited edition one. Yeah, it's signed, limited edition, deluxe edition. That one is $3.49, and then there's the newspaper strips, deluxe edition hardcover, and that one is $2.99. Both of them published. It looks like he's self-publishing. Rude Dude Productions. So it looks like it's Mike Barron and Steve Rude self-publishing this. This might have been a Kickstarter. I'm sure most people probably know. But they're also publishing a trade paperback edition, and that one is $29.99. So quite a bit of difference there. But I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that there's 3 different editions that are coming out. If you were a fan of that series, that was previously published by Dark Horse Comics. Night of the Living Dead, the complete collection, is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is being published by American Mythology Productions. And we're also getting Panther Blessed and Accursed. And that is by Dynamic Forces. As well as Prince Valiant, Red Sonja, Volume 4, Angel of Death. I love that cover. That's a Jay Lee cover, and it's just, oh, love it. I know it's on her hair, she's wearing a cape, but still, it's just mesmerizing. Vampirella, Volume 4, Red Mass is coming out that very same week from Dynamite. And Walt Kelly, Peter Wheat Complete Series, Volume 2 is coming out that week and wrapping up that week. For Marvel Comics, we kick it off with New Mutants Omnibus Volume 3. Collecting New Mutants 55 through 85, Annual number 4, Spellbound number 4, Power Pack number 40, Uncanny X-Men 231, and Exterminators 1 through 4. And then material from Marvel Comics Presents 22, Marvel Fanfare 55, Marvel Superheroes number 1, and X-Men Odd Man Out. One shot. So if you watch Map My X, we were very, very close to the mapping on this one. And I'm so excited that it is finally coming out. There was a delay on it. I think it was originally supposed to be in June, but at least it's coming now. If you're wondering about Excalibur Volume 3, I believe that's been pushed back until September of next year, of 2024, for the people that have been asking me and emailing me. Silver Surfer Epic Collection, Sunrise and Shadow Fall. Oh yes, more of the Silver Surfer goodness. We are looking at Silver Surfer, the half issue, 139 to 146, and then Silver Surfer Thor Annual 98, Galactus the Devourer 1 through 6, and Silver Surfer Loftier Than Mortals 1 and 2. And you have Tom DeFalco, J.M. DeMatteis, and Walter Simonson, and Ariel Olivetti, and Sal Buscema doing some of the artwork in here, as well as Sal Voluto. And Spider-Man Ben Reilly Omnibus Volume 1. If you missed out on it the first time around, it is being reprinted. Collecting Web of Scarlet Spider 1 through 4, Amazing Spider 1 through 2, Scarlet Spider 1 and 2, Spectacular Scarlet Spider 1 and 2, Scarlet Spider Unlimited number 1, Green Goblin 3, Sensational Spider-Man 0 through 3, The Wizard mini comic, Amazing Spider-Man 407 to 410, Annual 96, Spider-Man 64 to 67, New Warrior 67, Spectacular Spider-Man 230 to 233, Spider-Man Punisher Family Plot 1 and 2, Spider-Man Holiday Special number 1, Spider-Man The Final Adventure 1 through 4, Spider-Man Unlimited number 11, Spider-Man Team Up 2 through 3, and material from Venom, Along Came a Spider 1 through 4. So this book has 1,304 pages. This one's $150. I want to say the first printing was $125 if I'm not mistaken. Secret Wars 2 is coming out in trade paperback, the new printing, $34.99, collecting all 9 issues of Secret Wars 2, 264 pages. This is Jim Shooter and Al Milgrom working together on a follow-up to Secret Wars. Storm, Blowback. This is the Ann Nocenti and Sid Catane with Gerardo Borges art. And this is Storm 1 through 5 of the 2023 series. And excited to read it. Ann Nocenti, it's been a long time since she's written X-Men. Speaking of X-Men, X-Men Epic Collection, The Brood Saga. Collecting Uncanny X-Men 154 to 167, X-Men Annual number 6, and the Special Edition X-Men number 1. That has that little short story. So this is the ending of Dave Cockrum's era for the second time. The second time he came back to X-Men. And the beginning of Paul Smith's era. Chris Claremont, of course, writing the stories. $44.99, 424 pages. I love the Brood Saga. And it's right before my first issue of Uncanny X-Men, which is 168. Marvel Masterworks, Marvel Team Up Volume 7, finally coming back. Collecting issues of Marvel Team Up 65 through 73 and 75 through 77. It is skipping the... Was it the Saturday Night Live issue, I think? Probably due to copyrights, but you're getting Chris Claremont in here, John Byrne working on this book, 304 pages, $75. And from the world of DC Comics, we're getting Spy vs. Spy, last week of the year. And this book has been previously printed. This is the new edition, and it is an omnibus for 400 pages, $75. And Nightwing, Volume 2, Get Grayson. This is the Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo Nightwing, collecting Nightwing 87 through 89, Son of Kal-El number 9, and then Nightwing 90 through 91. It won all kinds of Eisners. Best Continuing Series, Best Penciler Inker, Bruno Redondo, and Best Cover Artist, Bruno Redondo. From the world of manga, we're getting Arms of the Dragon, Volume 1, and that is being published by Tokyo Pop. But also Noir Cesar. So I don't know if it's like another imprint of Tokyo Pop. This is by Marcus Quabena and John Lawrence with Chris Craddy. So I'm not sure if this is an original. I'm just glad that Tokyo Pop is still putting out stuff. Cat-Eyed Boy, Perfect Edition, Volume 2. I need to do an overview of both Volume 1 and 2 together. That is the hardcover edition coming out. Wrapping up that series. And Fist of the North Star, Volume 11 coming out. I love Fist of the North Star. I don't know if my video's still out there where I got an early release of it. But it was really kind of Viz back then to send me an early copy of it so I can talk about the book and what made it so special. Especially for us that grew up with the movie and then seeing a continuation of it, because that's what the inspiration for the TV show was. The books right here by Buronson and Tetsuo Hara. So Volume 11. Awesome. Can't wait for that. Happy Crappy Life, Volume 3. I think I added that in here because it's just such a ridiculous title that I wanted to add it on here. That is by Dempa Books. And also coming out is My Ultramarine Sky, coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Kodansha. And we're also getting the Renjo Desperado Volume 1 coming out that week. And that one there is published by Denpa Books as well. Really dig that cover. And kind of reminds me of Iria, or, yeah, Zaram, right? That's what the movies were called, but Iria was the animation. Since I Could Die Tomorrow, Volume 1 is also coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Tokyo Pop. That cover is gorgeous. That is by Sumako Kari. And from the world of Dark Horse Comics, the EC Archives, The Haunt of Fear, Volume 3 is coming out that week. And this is, again, a trade paperback version. There is a forward here by Cullen Bunn, modern master of horror. Collecting issues 13 through 18. You do have the adaptation of Ray Bradbury's The Coffin in here, and Black Ferris. And then, also coming out that week is the Eerie Archives. What a way to end the Christmas holiday with these creepy books. No pun intended, or eerie books. Volume 3, this is the trade paperback edition, 256 pages, $24.99. Collecting Eerie 11 through 15. From the world of Image Comics, we're getting the... Oh, Antioch is coming out that week. That is by Patrick Kinlan and Marco Ferrari. And that is collecting the Antioch issues 1 through 4. And we're getting Loaded Bible from Tim Seeley and Joe Orlando. Giuseppe Cafaro and Mirka Andolfo are the creators behind this. And it collects the Loaded Bible, Blood of My Blood 1 through 6. As well as, finally, the Savage Dragon Ultimate Collection Volume 2. A book that people thought was canceled, but it just became a printing issue. And now coming back officially, knock on wood, on December 27th. So collecting this Dragon, Savage Dragon 9 through 21, including the relevant portions of Wildcats 14, plus loads of extras. Relevant portions. That's an interesting choice of words. $39.99. Can't wait to see what the relevant portions are. From Boom Studios, we're getting Neighbors. This is by Jude Ellison, S. Doyle, and Miguel Mercado, collecting the Neighbors 1 through 5, $19.99. And Magnum Opus is coming out that very same week. And that is being released by Phoenix Studios. And also coming out that week is the E.C. Reed Crandall and Bitter End and Other Stories hardcover. This is published by the folks at Fantagraphics. $35, and it is a hardcover. And also that same week is Crestard and the Night Stallion, Legend Begins. That is coming out in a trade paperback edition. And that's published by Chaos Quill Comics, same people that are publishing the Derek Robertson book. I think this is the first time I've heard about them. But it features the talents of Derek Robertson in this one. Also, Paul Allore. I love his stuff. Paul Allore is a phenomenal writer. And Alan Robinson from Avengers Unlimited. Yeah, this is the first I've heard of this publishing company. Draculina, 90 Hours in San Francisco, is coming out that same week. And my goodness, Dynamic Forces, boy. They know how to get that attention. And of course, I'm talking about the chair. Look how nice the chair looks. This is by Christopher Priest and Michael Stat Maria. Spinning out of the successful Vampirella and Sacred Six series comes Draculina. And we're also getting Five Nights at Freddy's Graphic Novel Collection Volume 4, Fazbear Frights. Alright, if you're a fan of that, or your kids are, there's the book for you. Actually, my cousin's kid loves that series. Frankenbabe is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Invader Comics. Geronimo Stilton, Reporter, hardcover volume 15, Clean Sweep, is coming out that week from Paper Cuts. John Carter of Mars is getting released in a trade paperback format. And this is the stuff that was published by Dynamite. So it's Chuck Brown and Jung Jun Yoon and George Kambadayas, I believe is how you pronounce his name. So this is the modern John Mars. Punchline Volume 3, Daughters of Hercules, is coming out that very same week. As well as Redshift is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is published by the folks over at Scout Comics. And this is big. This is the Sandman Gallery Edition is coming out. And this is by Graffiti Designs. You have the variant cover and the standard edition cover. So this is, in addition to the artwork by Sam Keith from Sandman 1 and P. Craig Russell's The Dream Hunters, it includes pages from the Sandman 2 through 75, the 6-page story Death, A Winter's Tale, of the comics. This is a 272-page, 13 by 20, so it is a big book, 272 pages. The standard edition is 150. The variant is 175. Sherlock Holmes and the Empire Builders hardcover volume 1 is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by the folks at Tripwire. But we're also getting the Silver Age Classics Midnight Mystery hardcover volume 1 coming out in a hardcover and also a slipcase, and then the Silver Age Classics Space War volume 5 coming out in a hardcover and a slipcase. And that wraps up the week, or end the month, end the year, December of 2023. Now, if you're interested in any of these books I've talked about, check out our sponsor. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were your books for the month of December, the last month of 2023. In the comments down below, let me know what you plan on picking up, what you're most excited for, what surprised you, what you think might end up being delayed, but hey, it's still on your radar. That's why I love doing these every month. And yes, thank you all so much for helping me do these, or cheering me on, leaving those wonderful comments below with not even like what books you're going to get, but just the nice comments about thanking me for doing this. I love doing this. And the reason I do it is because you all love that I do this, and we all look at this together, and our wallets cry together. There's a big group therapy happening. But a big thank you to all of you. Thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Thank you for being here with me this year and every year. So look forward to doing this again in December for the books that are coming in January of 2024. Already talking about that. That's nuts. That's it, everyone. Check out our Patreon if you want to join that. Check out our spread shop where you can get cool designs, logos, and stickers. That's all I got. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.